So the ODPP has the Uadilifu Case Management System. This is in line with our role, that is on decision to charge. So what we usually do with the system, for any case that comes, be it a child labor case, a children's case, and even an adult's case. So the police usually bring any investigation file to the ODPP for making of the decision to charge. So the decision to charge is a test that we usually have. So we have 3 tests. We have the evidentiary test. So has the case met the required threshold in terms of evidence? So if it has, we also look at the public interest case. So like maybe in a child labor case, if it's prevalent in an area, then there is public interest to take the file to court, either for deterrence or just to make sure that people know that this is something that is wrong. So there's a public interest, and then there's the threshold test. For our Uadilifu Case Management System, it's now been rolled out this year throughout the country. So initially it had been like a test drive of the system, but now because of capacity, now we've been able to roll it out to all prosecutors, so all stations. And in terms of stations, we are at county and sub-county level. So because we have courts in counties and also in the sub-county level. So initially, the data on children was lumped up. So cases of child labor, child abuse were lumped up. But I think with the system now, we will be able to disintegrate data. So if you need data on child labor specifically, which is different from child abuse, we'll be able to give you. I think child labor has been normalized, isn't it? You see someone with a domestic worker who's your neighbor. Either you don't know where to report, or you don't think it's a big deal, you know? Even probably where you come from, there was a child who was a laborer somewhere. So I think in terms of identification, the community isn't sensitized, I think, enough in terms of just knowing this is child labor. In terms of investigations, we need to move away from reactive investigations where you're waiting for a child to be brought to the station, especially where areas where there's prevalence of child labor. I think proactive investigation should be the way to go. So in terms of now what CAPSA has been able to do to us as prosecutors, the ODPP, the first thing they did was trainer of trainers. So they did for us, they facilitated for us 2 training sessions. They've also helped us develop fact sheets, so IEC materials on child labor, so that is the fact sheets, posters. What we are aiming to use the IEC material is to sensitize not just prosecutors, but also the community, because one of the strategic agendas of the DPP is community-centered prosecution. So when you go to the communities, we can use our fact sheets. Our posters can be within our offices as ODPP, but you can also give it to the police, you can give it to the community so that they are more sensitized in terms of child labor.